Today, we will be discussing One Spoon of Chocolate.
I went in completely blind. All I knew is RZA directed and Tarantino produced, and that's all I needed to know. Shameik Moore, I didn't know he knew any martial arts, so that was cool to see.
It's all the things that RZA likes, preachy at times, very kung fu, and I liked in this movie that he's not really afraid to push the boundaries with things.
RZA says that he is a hip-hop director, but in hip-hop, he can sample. And in cinema, he does the same.
The part where they're driving in the car and the Wu-Tang song comes on, that was kind of for Old Dirty because it was his part in it. So that was kind of for Old Dirty. That was also kind of for the Wu fans. I also like at the end of the credits, he thanked the Wu fans.
Oh, Christ.
How you doing?
Pretty good.
Cool. There are a lot of good podcasts out there dedicated to watching and studying film.
Oh, yeah?
Not to worry. There's a new podcast in the making. Cinema Rolls Podcast on YouTube and Spotify and some other platforms too. You ought to like and subscribe.
Okay.
Okay, we'll be there.
So you need a link?
No. I can look it up. Thanks.
Yeah, well listen, you ought to ditch the two geeks in the car with now and get in with us. But don't worry, we'll talk about that later. I'll see you later, alright?
Bye.
I love those Latinas, man.
Hey, I know you. You run the podcast before.
Cinema Rolls Podcast.
Welcome to the Cinema Rolls Podcast. I am Josh. That is my brother Eric. We are the Cinema Rolls Podcast, a podcast dedicated to watching and studying film. Today, we will be discussing and reviewing One Spoon of Chocolate. Came out, I guess, it says here on IMDb that came out in 2025, but I'm guessing, I don't know, maybe that was its original release, like it got released to like some festivals or something, maybe, I don't know, I'm not sure. But it came out in theaters this year, 2026. It's rated R, has a runtime of 1 hour and 52 minutes. It is directed by RZA. It's written by RZA. It stars Shameik Moore, RJ Kyler, or Siler, I'm not sure how they pronounce that, and Paris Jackson. You want to go and tell them what this movie's about, brother?
Yes, it's about a ex-convict who also is a former military who released from prison and goes to Ohio, the only place he has any family. And small town, while he's there, he finds out there's some weird, shady things going on with the white people there. Things happen.
Yeah. Yep. And what did you think of this movie? How'd you like it?
I liked it. I liked it a lot. I went in completely blind. I didn't watch any trailers. All I knew is RZA directed and Tarantino produced, and that's all I needed to know.
Same.
But no, it was good. I liked it a lot. I liked Shameik Moore. Was great. RJ Siler, who I've only ever seen him in Power Rangers. But,
He was in Power Rangers?
He was Billy in the movie.
Oh, that's right. He was the Blue Ranger?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember now.
I liked him as the cousin, as Ramses, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it was good. Paris Jackson, I think, did good too. I haven't seen her in a whole lot, but she did a good job. Shameik Moore, I didn't know he knew any martial arts, so that was cool to see. Yeah, it was a good movie. It was a crazy movie. There was some pretty intense moments, but I definitely liked it. What did you think?
Yeah, I liked it too. I'm a huge RZA fan. So a little biased, I think. Like I even championed The Man with the Iron Fists when it came out, and nobody liked that movie, I think, but me. So it's just one of those movies I know is like not that great, but I like it anyways. Yeah, this movie is no different. I think this movie is better than The Man with Iron Fist. I feel like RZA's learned a lot over his filmmaking career, and I feel like in this movie, Quentin Tarantino, I would assume has had some, not necessarily like he was helping them direct or anything, but I think he was just kind of guiding them and teaching them some things.
Mhm.
And I saw an interview on the Breakfast, I think the Breakfast Club, which I don't really listen to that show that often, but RZA was on it and he was talking about this movie, so I'd give it a listen.
Yeah.
And he was saying that Tarantino didn't really have any hands in it, really. That he just kind of let RZA build in the Tarantino verse.
Mhm.
But he also said that he was like, in this movie, I kind of I think he said he learned the rubber band technique, right? And
Yeah, he did.
they're asking him like, "Oh, what's that?" And he was like, "Oh, it's like you stretch it out until it finally snaps, right?" And he's talking about tension. And the only other person I've heard talk about that is Tarantino. So I'm assuming that there was some conversations at least, and Tarantino at least maybe just gave him some pointers here and there, you know.
Yeah.
And it was super cool to see Tarantino's stuff in it, like the Red Apple cigarettes.
Mhm.
And honestly, such a genius fucking name for cigarettes because it's poison. And it's like the red apples, like it's poison, but it's alluring. And it's kind of like the same thing with cigarettes. It like looks cool to smoke them, but it's a poison. Super genius. Tarantino's a genius. The book salesman, at first, when he pulled out the suitcase, I thought he was gonna it was gonna light up for a second, and it didn't. But then they did the little light up thing later on when he opened up the book, which was pretty cool. So you could feel like that, like I don't know, the influence of Tarantino in it,
Mhm.
and I like that. And it felt like a 1970s black exploitation film to me.
Mhm.
So and it even had like that grittiness to it. I'm not sure if it was shot on film. It feels like it was shot digitally, and then later on they put like a film
Film filter.
overlay kind of thing
Yeah.
on it, but to give it that texture. But it was really cool. It was very, you could tell it's very RZA, like
Yes.
like it's all the things that RZA likes, it's very like preachy at times, and it's very kung fu, and
Mhm.
I like in this movie that he's not really afraid to push the boundaries with things. There's times where
Mhm.
like I got jump scared a couple times, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
and there was even times where there was like really bloody and I was like, oh snap, like they really pushing it, and it was cool. It was really cool. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot. Shameik Moore always kills it. Paris Jackson, it was cool to see her in it, especially since we reviewed the Michael movie last episode. And she spoke out against that movie, and I kind of did too, and I got kind of shit on for it. But just by boomers and Gen Xers on Facebook, everyone else seemed to be cool about it. But I thought it's kind of ironic that I liked this movie, didn't really like that movie. Paris Jackson, this movie, she didn't really like the other movie either. So this is a real Jackson movie, But yeah, liked this movie a lot. Good soundtrack. What else can I say about it? It was good. I think there's a couple things I would say that I didn't necessarily like about it, and it's not even like it's not even crazy. Just because it's just that it's RZA's dialogue sometimes can come off kind of a little corny at times.
Yeah.
Sometimes even a little repetitive, like when they call each other Cuzzo a lot and they say the word Cuzzo. Like I think in one scene they said Cuzzo like 5 times within like 3 minutes. And there was one more thing. Oh, and then it ends at the climax, which so you don't really get like a third act. And I get it. He wanted to end it on like a really solid fucking note. Like, bam, there you go. That's it, but I would have really liked to see it kind of come together later on. Like maybe he goes to jail for it. Maybe the other guy goes to jail for the things that he did. Maybe they're both in the same prison or whatever. And Shameik Moore's character is is kind of seen as a hero by maybe some people online or people like and people in the town or whatever, and maybe just some kind of something to wrap it up. But it wasn't a terrible ending. I get why RZA wanted to end it the way he ended it. So not a huge critique, I don't think. But yeah, that's about it for me.
Cool.
You want to move into ratings?
Yes.
What would you rate this movie?
I'm giving this movie an 8 out of 10.
Nice. That's a good rating.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say a 7.5. For the reasons I just mentioned. That I hope RZA keeps making movies. I hope he keeps making kind of in this style where it kind of like it's more like feels more like blaxploitation, which also too I meant to say I think that's why Tarantino was so willing to produce it. He's a huge blaxploitation fan. He grew up with it, and you can see its influence in a lot of his movies. So I think if it'd be cool if they kept kind of teaming up like this,
Yeah.
And I feel like RZA would only get better. So
yeah. I really like the movie. The reason I give it an 8 is because I do feel that RZA is only getting better as a filmmaker. So this is something that's going to lead him to something else he's going to make something even better down the road. Because it does have some issues, like you were saying. It's not a perfect movie, but it was a good movie. It has a good message, and he definitely made a movie in his style. Like it's definitely, like you said, it's a RZA movie. Like you could tell this was, it has his fingerprints all over it. So I think he's just getting better and learning the craft, and he's going to make something that's even greater than this down the road.
Yeah, agreed. There's something else I want to say about it, but I'll wait till final thoughts. Hopefully, I don't forget. Right, let's move on to fun facts. Are we in fun facts? Right?
Fun facts.
Yeah, fun facts. What you got, brother? Hit me with the facts.
There wasn't a ton of facts to get. There was mostly only interviews are with RZA, and he kind of said the same thing in most of them. But here they are. So it took RZA 13 years to write the film. He started writing in 2011, I think he said, and just kind of hit writer's block. And when he was on tour, that's when he finished writing the script. So that took him 13 years to do. Shameik Moore was RZA's only choice to play Unique.
It's a good choice.
Yeah. And the movie was inspired by the true fact that in some parts of the country, Black people go missing only to be found later with their organs missing.
I was going to ask about that because in the beginning it says inspired by actual events or something, right? And I was like, I wonder what he's basing this off of. So
yeah, I didn't know that was the thing. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. And should be stopped. RZA says that he is a hip hop director. But in hip hop, you can sample. And in cinema, he does the same by sampling techniques and styles from other movies and directors.
That's the way to do it, brother.
Yep. Harry Goodwin's, the actor who plays Jimmy, who's like the leader of the racists, is actually married to a Black woman.
Oh, nice. It's good to know that he's not actually racist.
No, he's definitely not racist.
He played it really well.
Had a hard time playing the character at times.
That's crazy.
Last fact I have here. RZA said that he had a 6-year apprenticeship with Quentin Tarantino and became a cinephile due to Quentin's introducing so many different movies to him.
Hey, that's dope. That's dope. I want an apprenticeship with Tarantino.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense now.
Mhm.
I felt Tarantino's influence in this movie. I was like,
Oh,
I wonder how much.
definitely.
I was curious how much he actually had a hand in it.
Mhm.
I got some things too.
Okay.
The main character, Shameik's character, Randy Unique. Unique is also what Old Dirty. Well, I'm not sure if it's Old Dirty's like actual like birth certificate name, but they used to call him Unique. And so
Mhm.
this movie was kind of for Old Dirty.
Yeah.
And then he named Ramsey's character off of Old Dirty's older brother. So, and then Randy, I want to say is another family member of Rizzo's. I want to say his brother or something. So Randy Unique. He kind of named the characters after his family.
Yeah.
The part where they're driving in the car and the Wu-Tang song comes on.
Mhm.
That was kind of for Old Dirty because it was his part in it. I forget what song it was. Might have been. It might have actually been an Old Dirty song. So that was kind of for Old Dirty. That was also kind of for the Wu fans. I also like at the end of the credits, he thanked the Wu fans. So there's like a special thanks section at the very end of the credits, and at the very bottom, it was for it said all the Wu fans out there or something like that. And I was like, hey, that's me. But yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool that he did that. Oh, he talked about one time. He talked about an experience that he had where he got jumped by a bunch of white people. Him and his friend. I want to say it was him and one of the other Wu-Tang members. I forget. They got jumped by a bunch of white people. So that kind of inspired the part in the gym.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's move into suggestions, recommendations.
Yes.
What would you recommend, brother?
I have a bit of a list here. Normally, I don't have as many. Although I wouldn't be surprised if maybe we take some of yours. So
I know I
sorry
wrote a
in
lot down
advance.
just because I felt like you were gonna take some of mine.
But the first one I have is John Henry with Terry Crews.
Okay.
It's loosely inspired by the actual John Henry. I don't know if you know that legend.
The Hammer.
Yeah, the Hammer.
Yeah, I know the Disney version. I don't think I've ever seen this one.
Yeah, well, this one is set like modern day. He's an ex-gang member. He does wield a hammer, though.
Hey.
Yeah. The next one I have is Get Out.
Nice. Yeah.
It's the first
That's a
movie I
solid
thought of when I was
recommendation.
watching the movie. Yeah, just because of the whole organ stealing thing.
And the way the white girls trap him too.
Yeah, the white girls trap him.
Let this be a lesson, people. Never get in a car full of white girls. If it's too good to be true, too good to be true.
Yeah, they're honeypotting them.
Mm-hmm.
Next one I have is Sorry to Bother You.
Nice. That's a good one.
Yeah. Love this movie. It's kind of crazy at times. It deals with race. It deals with white people using black people, and it's it's a crazy movie. If you haven't seen it, watch it. I don't want to spoil too much about it.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And then the next one I have is BlacKkKlansman.
I haven't seen that movie.
Really, it's good.
I really want to watch it though.
Yeah, it's based on the true story of a black police officer who infiltrates the KKK.
That's wild.
Yeah. And then the last movie I have on here is Django.
Nice.
It's another revenge story. Black guy killing a bunch of white guys, and it's by Quentin Tarantino. So,
Yeah. It also feels like it has a big blaxploitation influence.
oh yeah, for sure.
Cool.
Oh.
What's crazy is that none of them crossed over.
Wow.
Yeah. So I have quite a few on here too. My first one is The Man with the Iron Fist because it's directed by RZA. This is like RZA's kind of like love letter attempt at like a Chinese kung fu movie, and Shaw Brothers movie. Yeah. So, but when it came out, a lot of people didn't really like it. I think a lot of people were made fun of it. But I liked it. I thought it was cool. I just had the poster up in my room. Thanks to you, Eric. You got me the poster from the theater. And I still have the poster. And also in this movie, I feel like there was kind of a homage to his own movie where Unique gets the barbed wire and he puts it around his wrist and then he makes the brass knuckles and then they have that boxing scene. I feel like that was for The Man with the Iron Fist. Super cool movie. The next one I have on here is Wu-Tang, an American Saga. This was
the Hulu series.
The Hulu series. Yo, this show is good, bro. This show is like, go watch the show. You'll be locked in, especially if you like Wu-Tang. It's a must watch. It's the story of how they all got famous and how they all got successful and how they all helped each other out and all the trials and tribulations that came along with doing that. The guy that plays Old Dirty in this show is Old Dirty's son, and he kills it. He looks just like him. It's awesome. And the next one I have is the 36th Chamber of Shaolin. This is a Shaw Brothers film. This is a kung fu movie that came out in 1978, and it's one of RZA's favorite kung fu movies. And I get it; it's a good one. And what's funny is that the thing I remember most from this movie is the training arc. So he has like the character has like a whole training arc when he's becoming like a Shaolin monk, and that's what I remember. I don't remember the climax really all that well. I remember him just training because it's just such a cool sequence of him, and the way they train is like so crazy. Super cool movie. If you like kung fu movies, you have to watch it. I think it's a pillar in Chinese kung fu movies. And the next one I have on here is Jackie Brown, Tarantino film. And the reason why I have this on here, this is kind of Tarantino's love letter to blaxploitation. It has Pam Grier in it, and she is kind of like the blaxploitation actress. She's like, and look, I get it, bro. Pam Grier in the 70s, woo! That woman was foxy, yo. She was bad, bro. She was bad. I think she's bad in Jackie Brown still, but in the 70s, Pam Grier. What's your name? What's your number? You know? The next thing I have on here is Afro Samurai, because this show is fucking amazing. It has all of those Asian and black crossover things that just seem to mesh so beautifully. Samuel Jackson, RZA doing all the music. I love Afro Samurai. I love the movie too. And it's a short series, so if you guys, don't want to invest in something too long, it's only like 5 episodes, and then there's a movie. So not a lot. Go check it out. And then you can't talk about Afro Samurai without talking about Samurai Champloo. Samurai Champloo is like the anime that got me like big into anime. I grew up with anime. You know what I mean? Like I was kind of groomed by television, but but Samurai Champloo is something I watched when I was like 16, 17. And then I was like, you know what? I am an anime person. And then I got super into samurai and this and that, which explains all my tattoos, all these things. I got like all this when I was like 18. This was the first one I got when I was 18. And then I was like, I just got to keep going with this Japanese theme. And it was all because of Samurai Champloo. And it's it's entirely based off hip hop and hip hop aesthetics, but it's based in the Edo period in Japan, following these two samurai and this girl who's looking for her father. And this show is pure cinema, my guys. It's so beautiful. I love it. I love it. I love it. And the next one I have, the last one I have, is one I haven't seen, but I want to watch. I think this would be a fun one for us to watch. And it is Dolemite.
That's a good one.
I've never seen it. I've always wanted to watch it. It's pretty much like a pimp who has like these kung fu ladies.
Mhm.
And it seems like it has a lot of great one-liners in it. And yeah, it's also one of those like very, very popular blaxploitation films. This and like Shaft, and then Black Belt Jones. That's the one I was thinking of. This another one.
That just sounds cool.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's Jim Kelly. Jim Kelly is his name, not Jim Lee. Jim Kelly, he's the black dude that's in End of the Dragon, and he's the star in this movie, Black Belt Jones. It came out in 1974, and I've never seen it, but I want to watch this one too.
all right. I like Black Dynamite. It's more of a parody of.
I thought you were gonna say
of
that
them.
one.
But yeah, Black Dynamite's great.
Yeah, Black Dynamite is awesome. Yeah, I thought you were gonna bring that one up. And I think that's it for our recommendations. Do you want to move into our very, very sad bucket pool movie?
I'm ready to talk about our sad bucket pool movie.
So I don't know if it was the poster or somebody that put this in the bucket, but last week we reached into the bucket and we pulled out Grave of the Fireflies. It was made in 1988, and for some reason it doesn't have a rating. I'm guessing that's just because it's from Japan. I'm not sure maybe what their rating system is, but on IMDb it says not rated. Has a runtime of 1 hour and 28 minutes. And it's directed by Isao Takahata. I actually thought it was directed by Miyazaki himself, but it is not. And it's written by Akiyuki Nosaka and Isao Takahata. And it stars Tsutomu Tatsumi and Ayano Shiraishi and Akemi Yamaguchi. Yep. Sorry, guys. Sorry for struggling so hard with that. Yeah, this was your first time watching it, Eric.
Yes.
What did you think of this film?
Well, first I think I know who suggested this movie. I think it's Carmen, because one of our other cousins today said what the Ghibli film she should introduce her boyfriend to.
Mm-hmm.
And Carmen was one of the first people to comment, and that was one of the movies she suggested.
I saw that. I was like, why would she recommend this to someone's first Ghibli film? Like
Yeah.
They're like, I don't want to ever watch any Ghibli films ever again. This is way too sad.
So sad. But yeah, I'm assuming it's probably Carmen. I probably asked. She's in one of my D&D groups. Probably asked them. I'm assuming she probably put it in.
Gotcha.
But no, this movie was sad. I don't know if it would have made me cry, but I watched it at work, so I didn't get too emotional. But
Yeah.
it was so sad, and I really liked the little sister.
I know.
I thought she was so cute and adorable, and I was getting a little upset because like you noticed the rash. I'm like, why isn't he taking her to like hospital or a doctor or something? Like, what's going on? And he
Right.
finally does, and they don't give him nothing.
Right.
Like, all right, but yeah, no, it was just sad. I don't know what else to say for this movie. It was very well made. The animation is great. I watched it in English on Netflix. The dub version is good.
It's on Netflix?
Yeah.
Son of a bitch. I fucking read it on Amazon. Should have looked it up.
Yeah. What do you have to say about this movie, Josh?
It's a great movie. It's a really well made movie. It's very well paced. It's like surprisingly for being a really sad movie, it does like keep you drawn in. At least for me, I was like, this was my second time watching it, and it's a funny story. The first time I watched it, it had been on my list for a while because I love Ghibli films, and I still haven't watched all the Ghibli films, but it's kind of one of my goals as a Ghibli fan is to watch all of them.
Mhm.
And so it had been on my list for a while. And my friend Frankie, he likes to buy steelbooks, right? And he's been
Okay.
trying to collect all the Ghibli steelbooks. And he got this one. And then he was like, hey, let's all have a watch party. And so we held it here at my house. And it was like probably like 10 of us watching Grave of the Fireflies. And I was like, bro, like, why was this a thing? Why did we all get together to watch the saddest movie ever? That was, he was like, I didn't want to cry alone. And I was like, fuck, dude. This is like probably the saddest watch party I've ever had. But yeah, and the first time I watched it, I think I was kind of very much on the boys' side. And I was like, damn,
Mhm.
nobody's helping him out. The auntie sucks or whatever. Saita is his name. Yeah, I was like on Saita's side. And this second time around, I was like, man, he's kind of being a bit irresponsible, you know? Like,
Mhm.
he is being too prideful to stick with his aunt. His aunt was a piece of shit, yeah, and like was like
Mhm.
not helping them out very much, and like using the rations he was getting from his dad being in the military and just serving it to her own family rather than them, which was fucking shitty. But like at least there they had shelter and they had someone that was kind of looking out for them. You know, like
Mhm.
with his sister getting sick and all, like they might have helped. Maybe they could have they might have even known some kind of remedies or something that to help him out. But because he was so
Mhm.
prideful, he kind of took off and put his sister's health and life at risk because he
Mhm.
was being prideful. So I feel like the second time around, I was kind of like, oh man, I think this is kind of Saito's fault. But it's his fault,
Mhm.
but it's not his fault, you know?
Yeah.
Because like it's just these two kids that are born into this very unfortunate circumstance, you know, and I think that's one thing that's really cool about this movie is that when people make a war film, they usually try to focus on like the actual battles itself and like people that are in the battles and in the war, you know. But very few films actually focus on the effects of people just living in a wartime, you know. And in this one, it takes it even further by focusing on kids living in a wartime, you know, and that's super sad and extremely unfortunate because you know what I mean. Like you don't get to pick when and where you're born. You know, these kids were just born into a world where that was falling apart. You know, and they just had
Mhm.
to make do with what they had. You know, so it's a very it's very sad. But so it's not really his fault that he was
No.
in that predicament, but I think him being prideful does kind of uh, is kind of ultimately their demise. And yeah, and watching this, I can't help but see the little girl as my daughter, right? And
Mhm.
like I can't imagine like Arya being that age and having to go through a time like that. Like
Yeah.
you know, it's movies like this that you watch it and you're like, fuck, you know what? I'm blessed, yo. Like
Mhm.
my life's not so bad, you know, like um because yeah, it is. And the reason why I think this movie it needs to exist, kind of like Schindler's List, is because you need to understand the side effects of war. You know,
Mhm.
um, what what there's so many politicians and whatever will justify going to war and you know it helps the economy and this and that whatever, right? But then you see things like this and you're like, there's never a good reason for war, you know? Like it's fucking awful, yo.
Mhm. It's hard to blame Saika, for everything.
Right?
He shouldn't be living in a cave. Um,
Yeah,
but he's a child. Like I don't
he's
know
a
how old
kid.
he's supposed to be. I'm assuming like 14 at the oldest, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, I don't know, somewhere around there maybe.
but like as an older brother, like I can't imagine having gone through that. I
Yeah.
would think I would have been a little better. I think I would have put up with the bad ants a little longer. Maybe tried to find a job to help out, but
Right.
um, um, but I think I think he still was a good older brother. Like he looked out for her and he did what he could to make sure she had food and she had shelter. It's just, um, like you said, he was just prideful.
Yeah. Yeah. I think in his kid brain, he was thinking
Yeah.
like, my job, my duty right now is to look after my sister, right?
Hmm.
So he doesn't really like understand that the aunt wants him to like help out with other things, and that's why she's kind of
Yeah.
treating him like shit. She sees him as a bum, but in his mind, he's like, no, well, this is my job. This the so one thing I have to do is look after my sister. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But but yeah, he's a kid, and he it's hard for him to kind of put those things together and kind of figure
Yeah.
out what to prioritize. It's like one of those things where you have to grow up too soon. And
Yeah.
how do you prepare for that? You can't. You know. There are some really beautiful things in this movie though. The Fireflies, the way they animate them is beautiful.
Yeah.
And um, I I really really like the shot. I think it's at the end where they're ghosts, right? Are kind of they're
Hmm.
looking over a city. It might be Tokyo. I'm not sure what city it is, but
Yeah.
they're on the side of the city, right? Maybe like on the outskirts of the city, and they're looking at it. Uh, and they're the ghosts because all the ghosts in this film are all depicted in red, right? So you
Hmm.
have this red foreground with these two kids as ghosts in it, and then you have like this blue and yellow like midground with the city, and
Hmm.
it's a it's a beautiful shot because you see how Japan eventually turned out, right? And now it's a very prosperous country. You know, it has this very dark past and shadow that looms over it. And that's kind of what that shot is. It's like it's that the past mistakes that are kind of still lingering within Japan,
Hmm.
and the devastation that it caused their country. It's ex- extremely sad, but very
Yeah.
very beautiful shot though. Um, and a really really beautiful way to end it because I think that's kind of um, probably why they made this film. Is that they want to remember where they came from. And that's something I think Japan's had a huge issue with their education system is they try to hide like all the bad shit they did. Like they don't teach it. Whereas opposed to Germany, right? They teach all of it. They're like, hey, yeah, we fucked up. Like,
Yeah.
um, but Japan tries to hide all of it, and I think there's been a couple like protests and activists that actually are trying to be like, no, we need to remember our mistakes, um, and I think that's kind of why this movie was probably made for multiple reasons, but um, uh, I think that's one of them is kind of remember their past and remember where they came from and how they got there. But I think the other biggest reason is like to just show the fallout of war and
Hmm.
the causation of it. Beautiful movie, beautiful sad movie.
Yes.
All right, you got anything else for Grave of the Fireflies?
I do not.
Let's watch some other Ghibli films.
Yes.
This is probably the saddest of the Ghibli films, I think.
It's the saddest I've seen, that's for sure.
Yeah, so let's watch some that aren't as sad.
Okay.
Let's move on to the bucket pool.
All
Pull
right.
from that bucket.
What are we going to get this time?
Oh no. I always get so scared now. I used to get so excited.
Let's see. Oh, nice. Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Oh, nice.
Indiana
Okay.
Jones.
Yeah.
I've only ever seen Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, and I didn't care for that movie that much, so I'm excited for this.
I've only ever seen bits and pieces of like all of the movies because they're on TV occasionally, but I never
Yeah.
actually watched them all the way through. So like I'd change a channel, I'd watch like a scene, and I'd be like, and I'd change it, you know. So like I know some scenes in it, you know, but like I've never watched. I couldn't even tell you which scenes were from which movies. Like that's how unfamiliar I am with the movies.
Yeah, I can figure out like some scenes. I can tell you which movie they're from. That's only because they're referenced so much in so many other movies and TV shows.
Mm. Cool. I've been wanting to check them out anyways because like everyone seems to love it. So
All right, well here we go. Indiana Jones.
cool. Was that from the poster or is that from suggested of somebody?
I believe that's from the poster, but I do
Right
have some
on.
friends that are big indie fans, so they probably would have suggested it too if it wasn't already in there.
Nice. Cool. Right on. Sounds good to me. Let's move on to what we've been watching. Yeah,
Okay.
so right. What have you been watching, brother?
Just the same.
Same old, same old.
Got caught up on Maul today. I don't know if you're caught up.
Let me check. I think I am, but maybe I didn't watch the latest episode. I think I'm caught up. Just because normally if I'm not caught up, it tells me to continue watching, and it's not
Okay,
there.
yeah.
So I think I'm caught up. Cool.
But no, Maul's good.
Maul is good.
I'm liking it. It's really good. I like the characters a lot. Is the Allstate guy the Masters? I forget. Key?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's
Is that-
him. Yeah, I'm
I'm
almost
pretty
positive.
sure that's him. I haven't looked it up, but it just
I
sounds
haven't,
like him.
I haven't looked it up. I can look it up right now, but it sounds just like him. How'd you like that scene or that shot, I guess, where Maul is kind of going back to his crew, but he's like, as he's going back to his crew, he's remembering his past,
Mhm.
right? That was what that was in the comics. Actually, I have a Darth Maul comic that talks
Mhm.
that goes into all of that. But there's a shot where he looks into his reflection in a puddle, and he goes, "It's not your fault." But he's like talking to his younger self.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Oh, it was good. Maul seems like they're doing with him what they do with other villains, where like they're so well liked that they end up making him more of like an anti-hero kind of thing.
Yeah,
Which is crazy because Maul had like no backstory. It was just in that one movie, and then they brought him back in
yeah,
Clone Wars, right? I think it was Clone Wars, one of the animated shows.
yeah. Clone Wars.
And yeah, people love him, and
Yeah,
they keep bringing him back for other projects. And yeah, he's kind of like in the middle, because he doesn't like the Empire or Sidious.
yeah.
So even though we know he's not necessarily a good guy, we're still like rooting for him.
Yeah.
So.
I'm a huge Maul fan. I love Maul. He ever since I saw him in episode 1, and it's kind of funny because that's how Boba Fett was, right?
Yeah.
And when Boba Fett came on the screen, he was just like a side character, but people loved his armor and character design. They were like, "Who is this guy? We need more lore on this guy," you know?
Yeah.
And so that's kind of exactly what happened with Maul.
Mhm.
The comics are good. His lore is really cool. That's like honestly like when it comes to Star Wars stuff, Maul is like kind of the only lore I really get into. Everything else is so much.
There's a
like,
lot.
The books, the comics. It's like it's a lot.
Yeah. There's I remember when episode 1 came out, there was a lot of marketing, a lot of stuff with Darth Maul's face on it. And that image, like, just so striking, the red and black and the orange.
Yeah,
like,
his character design is super cool.
yeah. And I remember we went to Target and there was a bike helmet that had his face on it, and I really wanted it. Your mom and dad were like, "No, we're not buying you a helmet with a demon on it."
Yeah. That's the devil. Yeah,
I was like,
that's
he's not a demon.
that's so funny. Yeah, I have the Maul comics. I have his lightsaber from Disney World. Um, and I have I think it's Hasbro came out with a bunch of like samurai Star
Oh,
Wars
yeah.
figures. I have his super into Maul. He's my guy. I didn't picture his voice being like super fancy like this in the show. So when I first
Yeah.
heard it, I was like, oh, I don't know if I like that, but it grew on me.
I wonder why they went that direction, because I don't think that's the voice actor's normal voice.
No, Ray Park, I think is like Scottish or something. I think that's why he never talks in
Well,
any of his movies because he has a
not
crazy
Ray
accent.
Park, but the guy in the show is doing him, Sam Whitmere.
Oh, right. Yeah, I don't know anything about him. Sam
I just
Whitmere?
know he was also the apprentice in Force Unleashed, which is non-canon now, but
Oh,
those
really?
games are awesome. Yeah,
Why would they make that non-canon? Because that game was amazing.
it was so good. No, when Disney bought Star Wars, everything that wasn't in the movies no longer canon. Where before everything was canon, and there was so
Fucking
much, it was
whack.
so confusing. But
This is the guy that plays
Yeah.
the apprentice, like the main character?
yeah,
Oh. Wow, okay. Interesting. So he's like really been a part of Star Wars for a minute now, dude.
he's a huge Star Wars nerd. Like if you watch
He's
any
like-
interview with him, like he'll just explain everything about Star Wars.
I'm looking into his filmography right now, and like it literally looks like anything that came up Star Wars related, he took the role. Like I don't think he even cared how much he was
Yeah.
getting paid. Like everything Star Wars, like it's Lego Star Wars Battlefront, Battlefront 2, Rebels, like everything he could get a role in. He looks like he got it.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I think him and Dave Filoni just kind of clicked.
Oh, I'm
They're
sure
both
if he's
just
that big
so
of a
huge
fan.
into Star Wars,
Yeah.
so they probably just kept calling him back, like, "Hey, you want to do this?" And I'm sure he was just like, "Yes."
Yeah. I love Dave Filoni at the helm of Star Wars because like that's what you got to do, people. You got to get someone who loves it, who's passion. They got passion,
Yeah.
They'll take care of it like it's their baby.
Other than that, so last week was actually Invincible's finale. Did you finally watch that?
I did,
Yeah.
and it was pretty cool.
Yeah,
What was the name? Thrag, right?
Thrag. Yeah.
Very intimidating guy, huh? Like
Mhm.
that conversation he has with Mark at the end. I'm like, dang, like I think I would honestly I think I would do the same thing Mark did.
And then what can you do?
And it's
Yeah.
honestly a really good like scene where the dialogue's super good too, where he's like in a way you're our savior, and he's like, and Mark's like, what have I done? He's like, you just saved everybody on this planet, and he's like, and that's kind of true,
Yeah.
both of those things are true.
While also saving these terrible race of people,
Yeah,
letting them breed with your people so that they can make more.
yeah,
It's crazy.
yeah. It's scary.
Yeah,
Mark has a lot to deal with.
he does.
I don't want to be Mark.
But no, that whole episode, every time he would have like a vision of Thrag, I was kept waiting for one of them to be real. It's like one of these is going to be actual guy, and I don't know when it's going to happen.
I know, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
good episode.
no, yeah, that episode. And then caught up on The Boys. Did you watch the new episode of The Boys?
I just caught up today. But did they
Nice.
come out with a new episode today? They came out with a new episode today.
Yesterday, Wednesdays.
Okay, so yeah, I got caught up today.
So, did you like that episode?
Yeah, I like the different perspectives and
Me too.
from everybody. It
That
was
was real
fun.
cool.
I like
To get that
the dog's perspective.
Derek,
Terror, yeah, he's so cute, bro. So fucking cute.
he's what I did like that one too a lot. I was going to say I really liked the firecracker one.
Yeah,
Um,
that one was kind of deep.
because yeah, because to me, it kind of showed like two different uh, forms of Christians who are like big Trump supporters, right?
Right.
One is the people that have always kind of sucked, which are the mega church like pastors who I don't even know if they are really Christians or if they're just using a faith to manipulate people and get rich.
Yeah.
That's what it seems like to me. But
Yeah.
so they don't really care who they have to align themselves with if it's going to benefit them.
Exactly.
And then Firecracker represents other people I actually kind of know who are Christians and they do have faith but they've kind of bought into this thing where like this side of politics has to be your side because it's the Christian side or whatever.
Right.
And then they're like bending backwards, do mental gymnastics to make
To
their
justify.
faith fit
Yeah.
what's going on in politics. And I'm like, it doesn't have to be that way, you know?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I do like that dilemma that Firecracker was
Yeah.
in, and how you see it when like someone comes up, like you see it in her face, like she's like, I don't like this, but I have to do it,
Yeah.
kind of thing, you know.
But one thing I think, sorry, no, I don't want to like stray away
Yeah.
from your topic because it's actually like a really good point and like it's very well told and but it is kind of relevant, I guess. But I think one thing about The Boys that I've been watching, I've been noticing lately, is that The Boys is like a very dystopian show, right?
Yes.
But like, and there's so many times where it has some like very modern social commentary on it, you know, and it's kind of scary at times because even though they're kind of exaggerating and making fun of current societal issues,
Yeah.
sometimes it's so spot on that like it kind of like trips me up a bit because
Yeah.
like sometimes they'll do this thing where like they'll put on like a fake commercial, right? Like a Vought commercial, right?
Yeah.
And I don't have like Prime Premium or whatever, right? So I get ads, right?
Mhm.
And sometimes I don't know if sometimes a real ad will play and sometimes a Vought ad will play. And sometimes I don't know what is what because it's so like spot on. It fucks me up sometimes. And I'm like, wow, have we really strayed that fucking far to where this exaggerated dystopian show is accurately mimicking our current society? That's scary, bro.
It is scary. Yeah. And people ask the writers because I guess like some of the things that come up and that happen are like kind of spot on with what's happening, and they've said that no, like they write it, they even film it before like something happens, and something happens on the news, and then they're like, damn, like we wrote that, we
Yeah.
didn't know that was going to happen. We thought
Yeah,
it was some
'cause
crazy thing.
that's what I'm saying. Like the episodes would come out and I'm like, this is like too accurate sometimes, bro.
Yeah.
And yeah, and I was thinking that too. I was like, there's no way they're like seeing it and writing it down and filming it right away because they've got to write it like way prior
Yeah.
so they have time to film everything, right? So I'm like, that's scary. Yeah, say what you want about The Boys. It is kind of wacky and crazy at times, but like there's that stuff is like I'm like, okay, this is pretty good, yo. Like,
Because I did like when they go to, was it marathons? They go to marathons place, right?
oh yeah, uh-huh. Seth
Yeah.
Rogen's there.
Seth Rogen and everyone's there.
Yeah, it was good.
I thought it was kind of weird, kind of crazy. Like it's funny that everyone died, but when Marathon ran through him, like he stopped like as soon as he hit him.
Yeah, and he still blew up.
Yeah, they just like it was crazy. Like I would have thought like you would have to like go through them. Like no, you just like bam, just blood everywhere.
Yeah, insane.
Yeah, good show.
It is good.
Yeah,
Pretty solid show.
yeah, and that's That's all I've been watching. I haven't watched anything else.
Nice.
Yeah.
I pretty much watched everything you watched. So I will say there was this one movie that was on at the hotel I was staying at. And I watched the majority of it, but I had to leave right before the climax. But from what I watched, I really liked it. Let me see if I can find this movie because I don't know what it was. The hotel I was at, like, you know how sometimes you can just go to the guide and it'll show you what the title of the thing is that you're watching, right? My guide button wasn't working, so I just had to, and then
Oh,
at the
dang.
top of the screen where it like gives you the channel number and the information,
Yeah.
it said it didn't have the title. It said, like it was like it didn't know what the title was. So I didn't know anything I was watching, and I was watching movies this year. I just had Showtime up and running.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is the one. I found it. Ha 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 ha. It's called Day of the Fight. It came out in 2023. And the
Day of the
kid
fight.
the kid's name that I was thinking of is Michael Pitt. And it's about this boxer who just got out of prison. He did something horrible. Just from based off what I saw, it seemed like he got drunk one night and accidentally might have like hit a kid or something while he was driving. And the kid might have lost his life. He went to prison for it. He got out, right? And the day he gets out, he is not the day he gets out, but like he gets out and then he starts training for a fight, right? But this whole movie takes place the day of the fight, and the day of the fight, he's going and he's making amends with everybody. He goes and visits his ex girlfriend. He visits his daughter because he has a daughter with his ex girlfriend. He visits his friend who's now a priest. He goes to his boxing gym and he beats up some bully. And it seemed like it was really, really good. And right at the climax, when the fight was about to happen, I had to leave.
Lame.
I know. So I really want to finish watching this, but from what I saw, I really liked it.
Cool.
Yeah. And I think that's all. I think that's all. Okay, we'll move on. I feel like I'm forgetting something. I do this every week, but it's okay.
Yeah.
We'll move on. Let's go move on to final thoughts. You got any final thoughts, brother?
Final thoughts on a spoon of chocolate.
1 spoon of chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
1 spoon of chocolate can change the whole glass of milk.
Yes. And it makes it better, in my opinion.
Agreed. I was going to say, the title is pretty spot on, too, because he is the 1 spoon of chocolate, you know?
Yeah.
The little town he goes to is the glass of milk.
Yeah. And it's not just, he's black and they're white, because there were black people there too. He's the difference. He's the key element to change the town.
Right. Because technically, all right, if you think about this, all the black people that already live there, they're technically the chocolate that's in the can, right? The whole glass of milk is over here, but you got to take that 1 spoon of chocolate and you got to put that shit in there, man. Make difference, make a change. So he's the 1 spoon of chocolate.
What did you think of the traveling book salesman guy?
I kind of wanted him to be more part of it, to be quite honest. At least
Same.
come back at the end or
show
something.
up later.
Yeah.
Like when he gives him the cards, like I thought maybe someone was going to see the card, call him, and that's going to bring him to the town. Something would happen, but
right, because and the reason why I've talked about this before on this podcast. The reason why is they make such a they put such a focus on the business cards, right? Especially when he puts them on the gas station clerk's counter, and he's like, "Hey, pass these out to your customers," right? And there's a shot that that focuses on the cards. So right away, your thought process is, okay, there's something that's going to happen with the cards. Either somebody's going to call him up, he's going to come back, blah, blah, blah. You're already thinking, you're trying to have some foresight in the movie and trying to figure out, okay, why did they focus on the cards? But nothing happened with the cards.
Yeah, no, like they make a point of showing the guy, having him play a song even, and then showing the cards and nothing. And like, okay. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. So I mean, I don't know what role he would have played, but I felt like he was supposed to be a key element that just didn't happen.
Here's what I would have done. I would have had him not put all the cards on the thing. Maybe he puts the cards on the thing, but he keeps one for himself. When at the end, right when I said, know how I said that I wish everything could have got wrapped up. At the end, you could have had him call the book salesman, and he could have been like, I don't know, the guy to come help him out or something.
Yeah. That's another thing. Is at the end, I'm sure people are going to like it the way it ends. But me felt like there wasn't much closure, and it reminded me of Clerks' original ending. So Clerks originally, someone comes in to rob the store and shoots and kills Dante. And I forget who told him. It was one of the producers after they sold the film. Told him that he needed to change the ending because it seems like he just doesn't know how to end a film, and so he killed the main character. So that's what it kind of reminded me of, because it just ends with the gunshot, and so you just assume that he killed the guy. But I think it would have been better if, because he's having it all played over the megaphone, if he got him, because he pretty much already, like, that guy who was there at gunpoint, he's
Confessed.
He's he's killed people, so their organs, but to get the rest of the town that's in, like, have him confess that they're also in it and what they did and what roles they played.
Yeah.
Had him confess that, make him think he's going to kill him, and then have come in and arrest everyone.
Yeah. That's what I thought. That's what I thought it was going.
Yeah, I think that would have been a better ending.
Agreed.
But yeah, it just kind of ends. You're like,
yeah,
okay,
yeah. That's why I thought it was going. That's why I was like, if it would have been better if like they both ended up going, because he still committed crimes regardless, right?
Yeah, he broke his parole. He did kill people when he was there.
So it would have been better if he wrapped it up at the end, had them both go to prison, because Shameik Moore's character set him up to confess to everything, and then the whole town goes down. He saves the town from all the racist white people, right? And now he's changed the milk, the glass full of milk. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But so yeah, it would have been nice to have it wrapped up that way. But I think RZA just really wanted to end it on a note, you know?
Yeah.
I will say this movie has a big emphasis on preparation. And I really, really like the scene or the sequence rather, where the preacher is talking about I forget what he's talking about. He was talking about preparation, but I forget what part of the Bible he's talking about. I want to say he's talking about Moses. I think he's talking about Moses. But he starts talking about preparation, right? And as he's talking about preparation, starts cutting to and fro from the preacher and Shameik Moore's character. He's preparing to go kill some motherfuckers. You know what I mean? And at the end too, he's like, the only difference is I was more prepared than you, right? Yeah, so big focus on preparation. Not really sure why there's such a focus on preparation. I would assume it has to do with more like knowledge, I think, but more like seeking knowledge and knowing how to make a change and why to make a change, right?
Yeah.
So I think that would be my guess. Yeah. Oh, and then the other thing earlier, sorry, a little off topic, but on topic. The other thing earlier I was talking about, I wanted to say for final thoughts, is one of the reasons why it reminded me of a black exploitation film was the R&B sex scene in it.
Oh yeah.
I feel like I haven't seen a sex scene in a movie like this, in a movie, or even in a movie theater, really. But I haven't seen a sex scene like this in a movie since maybe Baby Boy. Remember Baby Boy?
Nah, I don't think I saw Baby Boy.
Oh, okay. But Baby Boy has a crazy sex scene in it too.
Is that Tyrese, right?
Yeah. Yep.
I can see the DVD cover. I never watched this.
I like that movie. His girlfriend's crazy, but
Aren't they all?
that's a good movie. But yeah, I feel like I haven't seen a sex scene in a movie since like this since that movie.
You're
And
talking about the one when they went in and arrested him?
yeah, and then they had the R&B playing in the background.
Yeah.
That to me just felt very very blaxploitation because I feel like in blaxploitation films there's a lot of like titties and stuff in blaxploitation films, and then but back then because the funk was in, right, all the score in the background was all very funky, right?
Yeah.
Whereas as now, you know, we would if RZA had put funk in the background, it'd been really corny, you know. So now it's instead it's R&B, you know.
Yeah. Speaking of sex scenes, the main racist guy, when he's on the couch with those two girls, didn't they kind of look more Latina to you than white? See, they did to me.
I don't know, honestly.
The two that he was making out with, I'm like, they don't look like they're white.
I think this isn't really like about the movie, I guess, but it's like the thing is like beauty standards have become like so what's the word?
I don't know.
Because of social media, right? Everyone has a focus on a specific type of beauty standard, right? All these girls that get really popular on Instagram, they all look a certain way, right? So that becomes the beauty standard. So now everyone wants to look that way. The problem with that is everyone starts to look the fucking same. You know what I mean? So I think that's kind of why, but I don't know. I didn't really notice. They just look like white ladies to me.
But I was also going to say I did like the fact that when they actually show like guy having sex with the girls, it's juxtaposed with the scene with Unique and Paris Jackson's
Yeah,
character,
that was good.
who were having a real intimate moment without
Yes.
sex. So I thought that was cool to show the difference, you know?
Yes. Agreed.
Yeah.
That was cool. Very cool. RZA was doing a lot of cool things in this movie. And I really think he's just going to get better as a filmmaker.
Yes.
Cool. Do you have anything else?
I don't think so. I think I ran out of things to talk about. What about you?
I think I'm good. I feel like there's something I wanted to talk about before I came on this podcast, but I
I
forget what it was.
want to ask you about the scene with the American flag and the blood.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
That
I
was
just thought
cool.
that was a cool scene.
Yeah.
Yeah. It kind of reminded me of Captain America. Um,
Mm.
I think people have different like, opinions on what it means to be American and what that flag, what it stands for. And I remember in the Civil War in the comics, people were upset with Captain America because he was on the anti-registration side, and he had a scene with Spider-Man, who Spider-Man was on the pro-registration side to begin with before he switched. Which also Civil War is why I hate Iron Man. If you ever read the Civil War series, you'll understand because I'm a huge Spider-Man fan. um, but no, when he's talking to Peter, he tells him that when the politicians and whoever tells you that this is the right way, you know that it's not. It's your job as an American, to plant your feet by the river of truth and say, no, you're wrong. And I kind of feel that's like what his character was doing, So even though technically he was breaking the law, he broke his parole, he wasn't supposed to be there and be doing that. He had to stand up for what was right.
Yeah.
teach these racist white boys a lesson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true, and that was a good scene. The good scene 'cause I feel like that is a huge part of his character. Is he's a veteran, and he talks about it too during the part where they're on the intercom, and he is like he's like, yeah, y'all might have brought us here to this country, but we worked our asses off. We slaved. He's like, we helped build this country to what it is today. He's like, this country is not this country without us. You know what I mean? And so and I think RZA making him a veteran, I think just kind of adds more to that aspect of his character. And and yeah, so when he wipes their flag, the blood off the American flag and salutes it, this I think in a way it's him taking back his rights, I guess, as an American, right? And that whole ideology and that whole concept kind of reminds me a little bit of the movie Do the Right Thing. And I think for the longest, there's been kind of some controversy about whether or not Mookie, I think is the main character's name, did the right thing, and because he ultimately throws like a trash can right through the business owner's window, and it causes a riot. And people are like, did he do the right thing? And I don't think the question is whether or not he did the right thing. I think that's actually the wrong question. I think the question is more, did he have to do it? And when you think about it, and that kind of situation, same with in this movie where he goes in and kills everybody, does he have to do that? And I think in some scenarios where you have no other choice and you have no other ways of justifying something, but you know something has to be done, so you just do it. Whatever it is, that impulsion to do whatever it is that you think is the right thing to do to set things straight again. I think that is kind of what this movie is talking about, and that what Do the Right Thing is talking about. It's when your back is against the corner and you have no other option. You have to do something, you know.
Yeah.
And when you're a black man in a town full of racist white people, your back probably does feel like it is in a corner, and you have no other choice.
Yeah. I was going to ask, at any time, have you ever felt discriminated against?
Yeah.
Have you ever been in a kind of situation where you're like, like people don't like you and don't like that you're there simply because of who you are, or who you were, like what you were born as? Like,
Yeah. When I went to Columbine, actually, one of my first days there, Columbine's a very predominantly white school. One of my first days there, I was walking down the hallway, and I remember I still remember who this fucking kid is too. He was like this tall white baseball player who I think was like a grade or two above me. And I was walking down the hallway, and he just said Beaner, and I was like looked over him like this, and I was like, "What'd you say?" And he was like, "Nothing," right? I was like, "The fuck?" And I just kept walking. And then another time, I was walking home from school, and someone threw a sandwich at me. They missed, luckily, but as they threw a sandwich at me, they yelled "spick." So, yeah. So I have, unfortunately, in my own town.
yeah.
But yeah, it happens. There's racist people out there. So
Yeah. I've never had anyone do that to me, like to say something like that. I had one kind of weird instance with the kid. But I don't think he was trying to be. I think he was actually trying to like be my friend, but he wasn't my friend. So it was like with my friends, they're all white. They were, at least they were, and I call them all crackers all the time. So with one of them, like who is like a close friend of mine, who's a slur against me, they would be like, "Hey, don't say that." Like that's what we do. We joke.
yeah,
This kid wasn't part of my friend group,
Mhm.
And he came up and just called me a spick once, and I was like, "Whoa,
Yeah.
you don't say that."
Yeah.
We joke. I don't know.
I don't know you like that. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Other than that, like no one's ever been like overtly like racist like that towards me, but I have felt the glares. Like if you go to certain areas, certain places, like people just watching you just because you're brown and you're there. I'm like, I'm
mhm.
not going to steal anything. What are you guys doing? And
Yeah.
for the most part, I was like pretty oblivious to any of this happening. Um, but I remember one time with our cousin Mario, we were actually in California when we went to Disney. We went to a mall,
Mhm.
and I forget what store we were in, but he came up to me. He's like, "Hey, let's get out of here." And I was like, "Okay, whatever." And we walked out of the store and we walked out. And he's like, "Security was in there following us." I was like, "Really?
Mm,
Why? That's
mm.
crazy."
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
but,
wild.
yeah,
I will say that's one thing I miss about being in the military was that like because yeah as someone who's not white um occasionally when you go into certain places you will feel those glares but like when I was in the
mhm,
military as long as I was in uniform I feel like it didn't matter what color I was, you know what I mean, like uh I felt like it was racism didn't exist in a way.
mhm.
Because yeah, I think there's a surprisingly a lot of people that are racist that aren't veterans. I think when you're a veteran, you're forced to work with people that aren't where you're from. It's super
Yeah,
diverse in the military, and I think a lot of people come out not racist, right? So
yeah,
I think a lot of people that are racist aren't veterans, and when they see someone in a military uniform, they're like, "Oh, they're serving our country, and they're doing something that I couldn't do." Right?
mhm,
And so now they have this person on a pedestal regardless of what color they are. At least that's how I felt when I was in uniform. I don't know how I can't speak for everybody, but um yeah.
oh,
So I thought it was cool that he made him a veteran. This movie.
yeah. It was a good aspect of his character.
For sure. For sure.
Yeah,
I will say though, I don't know any veterans that salute like that to anybody.
I was gonna
They don't
ask like,
I don't I don't do
did they
that.
get the
I don't
salute right? Because it didn't look. It didn't look.
well people
Yeah.
just don't really salute like that. The only time you really salute is like when you're like saluting an officer, and
Hmm.
you almost always have a hat on when you salute. I don't think you're even supposed to salute if you don't have a hat on.
Interesting.
So that your hand goes up to where the hat bill is, right, and then you salute. So
Like this
yeah,
right here.
yeah. So a lot of people that aren't in the military, they go the eyebrow thing, right, and they do that, right. Uh, I don't know. I don't know anybody in the military that actually does that out of uniform. Or does that to just other people. Even when I go to like the VA, and I see other veterans there, like we don't like salute each other or anything. That's like not something we really
I
do.
don't think I've ever seen them do that, to be honest.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's something civilians think we do. So
There's some civilians think you do.
yeah,
I never really thought about it.
yeah, yeah. It's not really something people would think about, honestly. But like,
Yeah.
yeah. Anyway, I think that's all I have for this movie. You have anything else,
All right.
brother?
That's it.
All right, let's wrap it up. We're like an hour and a
All
half in,
right.
so
Okay. Cool.
all right.
All right.
Thank you everybody for listening. Uh, fuck all the haters on Facebook. Uh, no, I'm just kidding. It's all good. It's all good in the head. I love you guys. Thank you guys for all the support and all the love. We've been getting a lot more views and followers on all of our platforms, and we are just slowly rising up and up and up. And
Yep.
it's all because of y'all. So
Yep.
thank you
Thank
guys.
you.
Go ahead and comment down below if you got this far. Movies that you want us to watch, we'll put them in the bucket. You know the deal. That's it. Peace out, y'all.
See you.